I'm sorry, I'm just like so jazzed because it's the final time probably that this music is playing as we're going ham with this guy. Sorry, I'm just so jazzed. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. That's why the two of them went there. Interesting, or why Goodman agreed to go there, at least. That makes a lot of sense. That makes so much sense. He couldn't go there by himself, so he had to get someone else to escort him. That's why he was there. Cool. I accompanied him? There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the Chief of Police, murdered poor Goodman. Exactly. But wait! The Chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort. No, Edgeworth. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. That makes sense. Thank you, Edgeworth. That's a good step in. I like that. I wasn't sure how I would pin this on Goodman this time, but Edgeworth gave us the save. I mean, yes, if Goodman died with the card in his possession, there's no way it could end up back in Gant's hands without somehow someone involved picking that card up from the dead body and handing it to him without mentioning a thing. I like it. What was that reaction from him just now? That was so cartoonish. I know it's a very cartoonish game, but now just straight up Dragon Ball stuff here. He is gonna turn into a big-ass demon and we're gonna have to fight him. I can't believe it. Capcom, you mad geniuses. Chief Gant! You didn't. The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office's parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey you! Take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this. What? What could he have used to move the body? He hid it behind the blue Padger panel? No? Oh, hold on. as a clue that Phoenix was like, it's a useless piece of evidence. So this screwdriver was brought to Edgeworth from Gant's request. I don't know, but could the body have been moved in conjunction with this item? Like, if he somehow dolled the body up? Maybe? Hold on. It's very risky, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Let's go with it. We've got a lot of health to spare, although I should not be thinking like that. Because we might get a lot of near misses. But let's go with this. Oh my god, but is this admissible evidence? I don't know. Oh god, let's just give it a try. This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. Ooh, the music cut out. This is promising. What's that? The screwdriver? But what does that have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here? It's here because... I was asked to go, by Chief Gant no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. You mean The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. See, that again, that's what I was like, yeah, right. If Edgeworth moved the screwdriver, did he somehow move the body unwittingly as well? It adds up. God damn. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Yes, unless of course you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Ms. Lana Skye. Order! What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Oh my goodness, Judge is still on Gant's side. Oh no. Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gant, please say something. I believe your time's up. My time's up? Sorry, Rido, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're going to make it in time for the early bird special. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. Yeah, that's good that even the judge realizes that is very shady of him to suddenly be like, no comment. After all these accusations leveled at him. Accusations with, plausible evidence behind it. Very, supportive, of course. Not to imply that, just tossing out wild accusations should always be answered necessarily, but, in this case, it already looks pretty bad for the chief, so yeah. It'll look even worse if he does this, but I guess that's how Gant rolls. There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. I said accusations really weirdly. I thought he was going to say any accused, but, my bad. Well, Mr. Wright? Your Honor? Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of his body? Do I have any concrete proof? Oh god, I know I'm supposed to say go big and go home, but I literally cannot think of anything that would be like, he killed Goodman. Like he actually did it. I'm really silent because I'm really thinking here about all these items right now, but I can't. I know I've said go big and go home, but there has been at least one time where the right answer was to be like, nope, I got nothing. That was in, I think, the second case, the first case against Edgeworth. I think there was one moment where we had to actually admit that we didn't have anything. But we still won through in the end, so... This isn't gonna help me either, I don't think. Okay, did he smash him with the jar? If he smashed Goodman with the jar, would that prove it? But... see, here's my problem. I can't figure out if the jar pieces were part of the SL9 evidence. I can't remember anywhere. It was at the scene of the crime. But... no, but the one piece was in the safe. Right, okay, so maybe not. Like, I kind of feel like this jar maybe... oh my god, do I risk it? Risk it for a biscuit? Like, this one I can't remember the chain of events. When was the jar broken? Did we ever establish that? Was it a piece of SL9 evidence? I think it was. Was it kept? Was the rest of the jar kept in... in Goodman's locker in the evidence room? I don't remember what the status of the jar... We didn't see any jar fall out of the... Also, would it even fit inside the locker? The whole jar? Oh my... Let's try this jar. Okay, hold on. I can't let him just squirm his way out of this. I've got to keep the pressure on. Also, rules of evidence, we have talked about this jar previously. I should know that freaking puzzle. Twisting the jar around. Definitely, yeah. Of course, did the jar break back then? Am I on the wrong tree? Oh god, I guess I'll pay for it right now, right here, if that's the case, but let's go. Yes, Your Honor, I do have such evidence. Then please hurry and present it. Just remember, it better prove Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow of a doubt. So, what exactly is this evidence? It's proof. As to whether or not it's enough to demonstrate the Chief's guilt, I'll let you be the judge. But I am the judge. Oh, right. Well, what do you think, Your Honor? What I think, Mr. Wright, is I'm going to be late for lunch. I guess it wasn't enough. Please, Your Honor, give me just a little longer to consider. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current Chief of Police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Your Honor? Do you have any concrete proof? Okay, so we've reset to before the choice. Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of his body? Do I have any concrete proof? Okay, this might be... I think I was barking up the wrong tree with that jar then. Okay. Thankfully, they didn't just KO me immediately. They just dinged me for 1 point. Which sucks. But, c'est la vie. So I think this is the right call now, because I cannot think of any other piece of evidence. I do not see the code in this situation. Let's see. Let's just go with this, I guess. Ugh. But now I can't shake the feeling that I'm overlooking something, of course. Like, some clue is even better, but... It's no use showing evidence if I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. Huh. See, Aji? In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the Chief. Oh, no! What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Righto. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Aji, I'll leave the rest to you. Oh, no, come on. Please tell me this is just a fake out. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. What? Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her. Oh, that was a really cool fake out, because they actually showed the, health bar there blinking. I'm hoping it's just a fake out and I didn't just screw myself. Mr. Edgeworth? What do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth? Another witness! In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten?
The defense is the one calling witnesses today. Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist?
She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls for...
We haven't talked to her at all. She's barely been on the podium. The defendant? Miss Lana Skye?
She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task? To dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders.
Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well, the court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in Someone goes, hold on. Huh? Chief Gant! I thought you were going to eat. Oh, that was him going, hold on! Listen good, Lana.
He's talking to Lana.
I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. This seems incredibly criminal, what he is doing right now. You know, witness manipulation. But I guess the chief does what the chief does.
Oh, this isn't good.
Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then. I've got a lunch date to meet. Okay. If there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. Gosh darn, and we're pretty close to the end of the episode. Like, I thought we'd be done today, but this just looks like this goes on and on. I'm not actually sure. Yeah, I think we will see. We will see what situations we get in these last 10 minutes, but... Looks like we managed to stay in the game.
Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth.
That chief, he's something else, eh, pals?
Detective Gumshoe.
I'm not a detective anymore.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Nah, don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office.
My office?
Sure. I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with.
Could he mean Maya?
Still, it looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand?
It's not fair if he has the right to refuse to testify.
Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said? But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
Risks? What did he mean by that?
It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. Someone says, you mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Is it Lana? No, it's Emma. Cool.
You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Emma, are you okay?
Yeah. When I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
Relieved?
Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me.
Yeah, it actually must be nice for Emma to finally have some explanations for her sister's crummy behavior. So that's actually, yeah, the most positive way to take this, I guess. So good on you, Emma. I really appreciate that. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her.
What do you mean?
What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the Chief told her to do. That must be why she became so cold. Yeah, of course, like, it's not a great situation to be in. I can totally see someone dulling on the inside.
It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal.
Whoa, anarchist gumshoe right here, good heavens.
Let's put on some freaking light some Molotovs and storm the barricades, man.
Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see.
Well, we'd better get back. It's time for the final act.
Emma, why don't you wait here?
No, I'm going with you.
Nice! That's so cool, it's gonna be all three of us. Freaking Edgeworth, Phoenix, and Emma, all working in this final push. Amazing. It'd be even more amazing if Gumshoe was hanging out next to Edgeworth as, like, his Emma. That'd be so cool. Let's go.
I want to be there when Lana tells the truth.
Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. And that is where I'm going to close it as well. Good heavens. Yeah, I misjudged. I once again jumped the gun a little bit in my expectations. I was sure that we were basically done at this point, but no. It looks like there's still substantial work to be done. I think, especially since I'm going to have a lot to talk about once we're done, you know, my traditional review, I think it's worth it for us to stop it here. I think we can squeeze out a little bit more out of this. So, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Boy, has this been exciting, and it's probably gonna be the hypest it has been so far in this game as we jump into the final hours of Rise from the the whole thing. We're gonna do it, and it's gonna be groovy. See you then, everybody. Bye-bye!